Hello and welcome to another edition of Shalom CKA. I'm Chef Danny.
I'm Chef Zoe.
And she's my daughter. And this Sunday, she's going to celebrate somebody very special.
My mother.
Because it's Mother's Day. In the United States, Mother's Day started to get celebrated by a woman named Anna Jarvis. Anna wanted to celebrate her mom. She was a nurse during the Civil War. Very special lady. And so she wanted to celebrate mom. In 1914, it caught on, and the United States of America all started to celebrate Mother's Day, and then everybody around the world. But guess what?
The Jews have been doing it forever.
The Jews have been doing it for thousands of years. Mount Sinai, go back to the Ten Commandments. Fifth commandment is?
Honor your mother and father.
You better believe it. So we're going to talk about how in the Jewish tradition, mothers get celebrated not only once a year, but every single day of the year because of how special they are. We're also going to make a really banging frittata that you're going to, all you spouses and kids out there, you're going to make for your mom this coming Sunday for breakfast in bed. And we're going to make some herb potatoes to go along with it. So we're going to have a lot of fun. I hope you come back and join us, and we're going to celebrate Mom today. Welcome back to Shalom CKA, Chef Danny with
Chef Zoe.
Chef Zoe. We are going to be making an amazing Mother's Day celebration meal today that you're going to make this Sunday for your mom. But we're going to talk about why Jews celebrate moms 24/7, right?
Yes, sir.
So if I say to you, Zoe, Mother's Day, in Jewish terms, what do you think of?
Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah.
That's right, the four matriarchs for the Jewish people, all of whom were strong women who overcame major obstacles and built a nation, right? But really, Rachel is considered the mother of the Jewish people, and we'll talk a little bit about why that is. But explain what gematria is, Zoe.
Basically, the numerical value of each Hebrew letter in the alphabet, and they correspond to a different value in the number.
So, in other words, for example, Chai it means what?
Life.
Life. So if you actually take the numeric value of the word Chai, it comes to?
18.
18. So this is why 18 is Chai. Now, mother in Hebrew is?
Ima.
Ima. Now the root of Ima is?
Im.
Im. And if you take the numeric value of Im, it comes to?
41.
Now, what's the significance of 41? Rachel died on the 11th of Cheshvan.
40. Oh.
Right? So, the 11th of Cheshvan is the 41st day of the Jewish calendar. So, therefore, it coincides with the numeric value of the word im, or mother. So, therefore, the 11th of Cheshvan is considered to be the Jewish Mother's Day. Now, the 11th of Cheshvan this coming year, I looked it up, is going to be on October 29th. So October 29th, we have to celebrate Mother's Day again, officially. But like I said, we celebrate it every day. So we're going to talk a little bit more about Mother's Day in Judaism. And we're going to, give you so many different examples about how we're supposed to celebrate Mom. But we're going to get started with cooking. So we already washed. So you have to wash at home. Make sure you get those hands really super clean. All of our ingredients have been washed. Our utensils, our table have been washed. Please make sure you're working with clean equipment and clean hands. So we're going to start with our potatoes first, not the eggs. You know why?
Because the potatoes take longer.
The potatoes take longer to make and cook. We are going to put them into the oven. We're going to roast these potatoes. They're going to be really, really delicious. So we're going to use Yukon Gold potatoes. Yukon Golds are really special because they have almost like this buttery taste to them. That I really love in this particular dish. We're going to use our bear claws, and we're going to hold down round things. Round things are the enemy of the chef. They roll around. This could cut me if I'm not careful. Therefore, I'm going to use my bear claw. I'm going to slice that in half, and I'm going to slice it in half one more time. I'm going to turn it, and then I'm going to absolutely start to put it into bite-sized pieces. So we're going to take our potatoes. We're going to throw them into a bowl. Right, just like this. Zoe, go for it. And then we are going to add a couple of different ingredients. We're going to start adding a little bit of olive oil, okay? And then we're going to start to season this up. Now, when I say that its seasoned potatoes, we're gonna add dry seasoning. We're gonna add garlic, we're gonna add basil, we're gonna add oregano, and we're gonna add a little bit of spice, a little bit of cayenne. Now, in honor of our Middle Eastern matriarchs, we are gonna add a little bit of za'atar as well. And if you saw us make the Israeli hummus and the Israeli couscous salad, you know how we feel about za'atar in this house. Za'atar is almost like an oregano or a hyssop, a Mediterranean herb that involves a bunch of different herbs, but it uses also toasted sesame seeds. So Zoe, give that a toss in there, and then grab yourself a spatula so you can mix all those up. And so what I want to have is I want all of these potatoes to be incorporated with our olive oil and our herbs. All right, so Zoe's gonna mix this all up. We got all these beautiful flavors incorporated with our potatoes. We're gonna take a pan with a little bit of parchment paper on it. Beautiful thing is nothing sticks to parchment paper. And then we're gonna put those on there just like that. These are gonna go into our roasting oven, and over about, I would say 15 to 20 minutes, you're gonna keep an eye on it. They're gonna get nice and golden brown, a little bit crispy. Go ahead, you're gonna do the honors. This is why we have a preheated oven, so that we don't have to worry about waiting. And then we're gonna get started on a frittata. So we have eggs. I have about 6 eggs in here. We're gonna do another egg. Zoe, give it a go. Tell them how to do an egg.
So we hit it not too hard on the corner. So I'll do 3 times, and then pull on either side.
Yeah, so we're not pushing, we're pulling, because we don't want eggshells, right? So that's the way that's gonna happen. So go ahead. Now, you gotta wash again, because you don't want that egg on your hands. So she's gonna wash with a little bit of soap and water, and I have a whisk. So we're gonna whisk these up. Now, this ends up being a little bit creamy. So we're gonna add in actually a little bit of milk. There we go. All right, Zoe, give that a quick mix. I'm gonna get this away. And we're gonna start adding. Now here's the beauty of a frittata. Whatever you have in the kitchen works, okay? We're kind of at the mercy of being stuck in our houses, and so therefore whatever you have in the pantry, that's what we're gonna use. I had some spinach, I had some onion, and we have some really wonderful sun-dried tomatoes. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cook these on the cooktop using a frying pan. So we're going to walk over there. You're going to join us in a couple of minutes. We're going to start sauteing our onions, our spinach, and our sun-dried tomatoes until they're a mixture. And then we're going to add our eggs, and we're going to have a frittata in no time. So come on back. We are back and ready to make a frittata. As you can see, we added cherry tomatoes as well as our sun-dried tomatoes. This is all about what you have in your refrigerator. We're stuck inside. We had sun-dried and cherry. Zoe's idea. We added the cherry, contrasting flavors. It's going to be good. You want these onions to be what's called translucent. Soft, not burned. Burned onions taste very bitter. You don't want that in here. So we're going to start to add some other ingredients. First things first, we're gonna add some spinach. Now this looks like a lot of spinach, but it's not. It's gonna wilt down. Spinach has a lot of what?
Water.
Tons of water. You're gonna see that water come up and evaporate. So we're gonna add in our spinach. It's gonna start high, it's gonna go low because it's going to start to wilt down. Once that temperature starts to rise, all of that water comes out and our spinach starts to shrink. So we are then going to add some seasoning. We're going to stay consistent with our potatoes. We have our onion, our garlic rather, our herb seasoning. Now the garlic and onion is really cool because the garlic doesn't have any salt. You don't want to use garlic salt because we want to determine how much salt we put in our food. You don't want whoever makes that product to determine that. Sodium's a big deal in our diets. You want to kind of make sure that you're adding the salt into your dish. We have a little bit of salt in here, as well as a little bit of a kick, a little bit of cayenne. And in honor of our Middle Eastern matriarchs, we're going to add a little bit of za'atar. As you saw from the potatoes, we love za'atar. So we're going to add that in just like this. Okay. Whoa, little casualty. And there you go. So Zoe, as you can see, is sauteing all over the place here. It's great. And so we are almost ready for eggs. So all of this gets flattened out and evenly distributed around the pan. And we are ready for eggs. So come on over here, and you're gonna see me add in my eggs, just like this. Now we whipped those eggs, right, with our whisk, so we've got a lot of air in them, and we added the milk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these eggs up a little bit. So don't go so far away. Come on back. So we want to make sure that you see that you need to be able to cook these eggs a little bit. We are going to finish these in the oven, but we have to start with them cooking in our pan. Okay? Now you can see where it looks like scrambled eggs right now. It is not by any means going to end up looking like scrambled eggs. All right, so we are ready for some cheese. The cheese is going to be our topping. So Zoe is going to add a little bit of cheese on top, and it's almost going to be kind of a topping that's going to solidify because we're going to throw it into the oven. We're going to roast it or broil it. You can do either or. And it's going to kind of make this beautiful, crispy, almost kind of brown when that cheese turns a little bit brown on top. And it's going to be really amazing. So this is going to go into the oven. I'm going to show you how we do that very quickly. And I'm going to take this very, very gingerly. And I'm going to throw it into the oven. I have it on broil. This is going to take probably no more than about 5 or 6 minutes. I'm going to keep an eye on it so it doesn't burn, but I want, again, that cheese to be a little bit brown, a little bit bubbly. And what are we going to do in a couple minutes?
Eat.
We're going to eat. I hope you come back. Okay, it is time to eat. We have a beautiful frittata, which we dusted with a little bit more za'atar because you can't have enough. Right?
Really can't.
Really can't. So before we get into this, we're going to let this cool just a tiny second. And while we do, we're going to just reinforce one more time how important Jewish Mother's Day is. King Solomon thought so much of women in general and moms that he actually wrote a poem. And the poem is called Women of Valor. And we actually say it every single Friday night on Shabbat for Zoe's mom and my wife, Andrea, who is our camera woman today. Well done, Andrea. And so, well done, Zoe, too. And so, you know, I adapted Women of Valor for the 21st century. And look, it's just yet another illustration of how important moms are. And I would say we should say this every single day, not just on Shabbat, and certainly not just on Mother's Day. And so I have adapted Women of Valor for Mother's Day especially. And so Zoe and I are going to say our prayer to you moms out there. But first we're going to dive in and we're going to take a bite. And then we're going to bless all of you. So I'm going to very quickly take a wedge for Zoe. Look at that cheese, Zoe. Right? Delish is right. And then we also have our potatoes, and we also added some avocado. So the avocado adds an amazing richness to this that goes with this dish so well. So we're going to give it a try right now. We have our cheese, we have our eggs, we have our potatoes. Mom, you are not getting out of bed anytime soon if you're getting this. Except to work out maybe afterwards. So good. So immediately what I noticed is all of those flavors and the herbs that we added are coming through in a big way. The cheese is really rich. But the sun-dried tomatoes add a tangy sweetness to it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the potatoes?
I think the seasoning is like crusted over kind of.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It adds a really nice, almost caramelized crust to it. So it's really good. I hope you guys make it for Mom on Sunday. And we're going to leave you with King Solomon's Women of Valor, but for Mother's Day. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Your children arise and bless you. Your husbands sing your praises. All moms are marked by greatness. And to you on this day we pay tribute.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mom's Day.